Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. It is good morning for me. It is 6 a.m. on the Pacific Northwest. Have to stream early today because the physical therapist was like, yeah, you need to come see me at 8:30. I'm like, damn, what happened to 11? You know, 8:30 in the morning, this woman want to twist me up and send my legs 1,000. No, Jesus, I can't even. Would have been a huge pause, what I was about to say. But the physical therapist is a female, so it's all good. It is all good. Big up, people. Big up to every single one of you that has checked in already. Big up to the silent listeners. Big up to the active chat participants. Big up to Waha. I got that email. Brilliant work, my brother. Brilliant work. I am going to incorporate that into my next Arteta rant. The next time I go in an Arteta, I'm gonna crop those up, put those up here, and I'm gonna use that visual aid to make my case, or to help me make my case in this madness, in this world that we live in, with the protection that Mikel Arteta gets. I don't, but I think he's more defended than LeBron James. Like the modern day NBA fan who says LeBron's the GOAT, LeBron's the GOAT, will not hear any Michael, will not hear any Kobe, will not hear any Magic, no Kareem. It's just LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. Arteta gets that kind of love, that kind of protection. He doesn't win. At least LeBron has 4 championships. This man has one FA Cup to his name. But you know what? How am I going to say I'm not going to go in on Arteta today and then I start the damn stream with an Arteta rant? How unbecoming of me. Big up to Bluebird. What you say, my G? All is clear? Big up to AJ. Big up to Raheem Buckham in the building. Big up to Waha, of course. Alvin's here. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning, chat. Early bird. Yes, sir. You know the business coming, brother. Early wake up and things. One LFC. Yeah, LFC, number one at the moment. Can't deny it. Liverpool. I think this might be the most non-Liverpool channel that give Liverpool the most love in it. And it's crazy. Because I want to be giving my club that kind of love and give Liverpool the hate. But it's completely backwards. I give Liverpool the love and Arsenal the hate. But we have to reward winning, innit? Winning has to be a thing. We cannot get into this world where we just, prop up people who don't win and then find ways to take digs at the people who do. Kind of like as soon as Liverpool win the title, the Egalilites went on Instagram and typed, our floor is their ceiling, because we lost the league on 84 points when they won the league with 84. Sometimes I really think these men are mentally ill. Is that a normal train of thought to you? To try to criticize someone who won something that you didn't. You did more and failed. They did less and won. You think that's a flex? Come on, people. Big up to AJ, man. Big up to you. That's the Liverpool going back to back like Drake. Hey, you can't hide from the pressure now. I don't want to hear shit about, we didn't get Gahey. If we had Gahey, we would have won it. You have enough. You've had enough. This team is the Galacticos. It's the Premier League Galacticos, the Avengers on paper. Big up to you. Big up to AJ, man. Hardest working mod on YouTube. What a guy. He's going to give you that extra twist. Yeah, maybe she's a Man United fan, Maybe she's a Man United fan and she just want to inflict pain upon me because half that shit she be have me doing. But, I'm not going to say it's unnecessary. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she is a professional. Big up to Godfrey, our South African giant. Big up to you, sir. Hope everything is good and well this, where we at? It's Wednesday evening in South Africa. Hey, Godfrey, whereabouts in South Africa? Is it Cape Town side or Johannesburg side? If you care to share, you don't have to. That is a personal question, but kind of like to know. I'm nosy like that. Yeah, man. Big up to the Waffle Don and the building. What we talking about today? Well, we gonna talk about Arsenal dropping more merch. You see, big up to my brother Views. And speaking of my brother Views, in the link, people, in the title of the video, you will see the link. The brother Views is new YouTube channel, right? YouTube is doing brother Views dirty. They're giving him the runaround. After brother Views done worked so hard to build this platform up, he's gonna have the rug pulled from underneath him. So we're gonna help him bring it back up, right? Views is just a minor setback for the major comeback. That's what I messaged you privately. So we're gonna help brother Views build this platform back up. So his channel is pinned in the description of the video. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to Views. It's Views with a whole lot of W's in it. Click on it, go over there, hit him with a sub, bring your ass right back here. Right. So yeah, brother Views was one of the ones that I streamed with him back in January of this year, and we haven't looked back since. It's just been onwards and upwards. So it's the least I can do to help that brother build his platform back up after what YouTube is doing to him. YouTube is funky, YouTube is just dirty like that. But big up to Views. So yes, if you could subscribe to brother Views. Yeah, Wahaha, he was mad, man. He was mad. That was very creative. LeBron was made to go back ESPN when he was in high school. That's facts. That's facts. But they defend him, and he has something to show for it, right? The people who defend Arteta has nothing to show for it. At least LeBron has 4 rings he can throw on the table, some MVPs, Olympic gold medals, all that, right? The leading scorer of all time, assists. He has it. Most playoff minutes, he has it. So when I see people defend LeBron James, I don't defend him as he's the GOAT. I don't agree with it, but I understand. See? Just like this shit here. But I know why this guy is saying LeBron's the GOAT, because LeBron is a Liverpool fan, just like him. And LeBron has stake in Liverpool, so I get it. But if you know, you know. One thing I love about Renee, she said to the board, please fix these problems in the squad. I don't care who I will make them good enough for the Arsenal ladies. Renee is that boss, man. That boss. That boss BITCH who's just gonna walk in and be like, hey, this is what it is. Take it or leave it. And right now the players that play for her, know what it is. Either raise your level or get the hell on. You know what I mean? Big up Gunner for life. Views Raid, big up to every single one of you people. And make sure that you are going to subscribe to Brother Views' channel in the description of the video. Welcoming all the Raiders, man. Big up Dre, big up Vigilante, big up every single one of you. If she wants to inflict pain, she could just sit back the Liverpool game while you're there. She could have hit it, but I ain't gonna let her do that to me still. Big up to Dre, man. All is good. There's the link to Vigilante. Even if you're not a gamer, make sure you show Vigilante some love. When I see Vigilante is live, I go through there, I hit the like, drop a comment, and I bounce. Even I'm not really into gaming, but Vigilante puts in a lot of work here in these YouTube spaces, so we big him up every single time. Big up Rambo Kanambo. Big up to the Latvian Gunner. It's a Legends raid. The Views raid, but it's a Legends raid. Look at this. My brother right there. Love for the love, my bro. We are far from. Far. Big up to Why Not. Big up to you, my brother. Big up to Dana, the first lady of BBK Sports in the YouTube space. Big up to you. Hope everything good. Man like Gianni. Gianni is in the building. What you saying to us, Gianni? Hope you are good, bro. Big up to you in the Midwest. Chi-Town in the building. Chicago. Big up to Gianni. It was a pleasure streaming with Gianni last week on the Bruce Banana. Speaking of the Bruce Banana, another All-Star lineup coming tomorrow on Shane Gooner. People, make sure you are tuned in for that. Also, make sure you are tuned in at 5 p.m. UK time today for Clean Through with Views and Shane. 6 for 6. Hey, Wahaha, you know what it is. Man. Yeah, big up to all you legends checking in from over from Brother Views. Don't know what that is going on. I hear it now, people. Yesterday I had the privilege of tuning into Dan Potts. Was it the Roundabout? I think it was the Roundabout. And Igal was on there, D was on there, North Lee Gunner, Captain Guns was on there. And the Christian him, right? He's the most Arteta guy. D came in with no chest because D know what it is. He see the light. He see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not daylight. There's another train coming. He sees it, so he's like, yeah, the Arteta thing, it's not working, and this dude has to go, right? Christian him, it started out that way. It was funny. It was a delight to watch the top gooners argue with one another. It was funny. It was absolute funny. I was like, yeah, this is what we've been trying to tell your ass for 3-4 years now, but you don't want to listen. Now the entire house is on fire. Now you might want to listen. Okay, cool. Now, this is how much they love him, right? That damn Christian, because he started to say all the things that we're saying, but in the middle of his sentence, he loved this damn manager so much he couldn't help himself. So in the middle of the criticism, he only had to go back to the other stuff that he always used to defend him. But look where he brought us from. We haven't lost to the top 6. And even after Lee Gunner had spoken for about damn 30 minutes, he had to jump back in and be like, so what, bro? That argument is dead because you just lost to a top 6 team. He couldn't help himself. Mid-sentence, he's like, yeah, the lineup was wrong. Everything was wrong. Pointed out everything that was wrong, but had to revert and regurgitate the same dumb shit about Arteta's record against the top 6. Well, that's out the water now, my brother. So what? We don't get battered by him anymore. You can beat them all and then go lose to Bournemouth and Everton and all that shit next week. You know, they don't. It's a script. They've been brainwashed into the script that they have to read from. They have to sing from their hymn sheet. They do nothing else when they get flustered. And that's all they have to go back to. You know, it's kind of like, you know, back in the day when you used to listen to rap music, the rappers used to only talk about one thing. It's just how much money they got and, you know, how many chicks they can bang. You know, no matter what's going on in the world and where they come from, that's all they have to talk about. Just look at my watch. Look at my car. You know, we talk about the lineup was dead. The tactics are shit. But look where he brought us from. Look at our record against the top 6. They have to go back there. They have nothing else to go back to. That's all they have. And it was funny to just see them argue with one another. It was an absolute madness. Big up to Mr. Batterd. So what's for breakfast has to be different in Irish Shane and English views. Yeah, it's fried dumpling, some saltfish, and some ackee. Google it. Traditional Jamaican breakfast, some callaloo, and some tea, some chocolate tea. Yeah? But big up Mr. Batterd back in Singapore. Hope you had a great time over here in these United States. Hope the United States treated you well while you were here, my brother. LeBron could never be the GOAT, but that brother, if you get into a conversation with these men, they defend him to the hills and back. And you know, and it's an argument. It's a full-blown argument with people who are under 30. People who are under 30. It's kind of like when you talk to Chelsea fans, like real modern-day Chelsea fans, not the ones who converted from United and Arsenal to support Chelsea, like the real Chelsea fans who were born into Chelsea, who think football started in 2005. Yeah, like LeBron fans think basketball started in 2003. You know, and they just take out his 6 NBA finals losses, and act like it doesn't happen. Arteta thinks he's Kareem when in reality he's just another Andrew Bynum. Oh yeah, well, look at that. Latvian gonna drop in some of his basketball knowledge in here. Latvian is a sports savant. You know, big him up every single time. Still, big up to you, bro. Big up to Scans and like Scans. 17 likes. I can vibe with 17 likes, man. Cool with it. Robert, big up to you, man. I had to wait 2 minutes. I thought I had subscribed already. Cool, man. And the subscription thing, Robert, is not it's not to force people to subscribe. It's to keep the mutants out. 2 shows ago, I had a mutant come in. You know, I had a couple of guys on the panel, and man was just on some racist thing and was abusing everybody on the panel. And you know, I just had to go into subscriber, put it up to subscribe to like an hour to get him out because he had like 6 accounts and he was just spamming the chat with racist shit. So to keep those people out, those test tube babies, those kids that were conceived in a test tube that just sit in their in their mom's basement in their drawers and just troll the internet. It's to keep them out. It's not to force people to subscribe. So, but big up to you for your subscription as well, my guy. Every single time. Big up to Why Not. Big salute and respect to you, BBK. Blessings in the fire. Big up, my brother. Every time, man. Every single time. So legends in the building. Look at these two damn Liverpool fans right here. The Liverpool bromance is getting sickening, you know. The Liverpool bromance, that man just accidentally just meet in a in an Arsenal fans comment section and just be bromancing like a mug. But big up to Scans, big up to Mr. Backert every single time. It's going well, my bro. It's going absolutely well. Off the crutches, I walk around without pain now. I just can't. High impact. Can't do high impact. I have to do low impact stuff. The high impact stuff, that's the next step. Impact, aka running. And then I can get back to the business. LeBron might have become the GOAT, but certain chef ruined his plans. Jeff Curry. Big up to Ozzy. Ozzy's den. People, and here we go. AJ doing the business. We have to get Ozzy to 50 subs, people, so Ozzy can start doing live shows. We need that. We need that energy back into the space. Ozzy is another real one. We need to add him to the resistance that's fighting against the mutants. That Viaguna's knowledge is elite, top notch, man, top notch. That's why I thought he was older, and he he thought I was calling him old. I was like, nah, I thought you were 30 something based on your sports knowledge. Houston was good, bro. How does yeah? Hell, it feels like the sun is just leaning on your shoulder down there in Texas, isn't it? Yeah, saying LeBron is the GOAT isn't the GOAT, that's fine. But saying he isn't, this, yeah, that's ridiculous, is where I stand. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't sit and pretend like it's not a conversation. I know he's not. But to the people who defend him and say that he is there or thereabouts, I can hear it. But when I see people defending the Arteta doesn't deserve that level of defense, is what I'm saying. But people defend him as if he's LeBron James, you know, in the GOAT conversation. And you know, the damn excuse express is out. They have these damn thesis papers on YouTube and on Instagram where they talk about, I can't believe all these Arteta outers, the narrative that's being emerged now of being Arteta being out and this and that, and then they're saying like people who want Arteta out don't have a valid concern, and they're making all these excuses, and they talk about the hundreds of points and the defensive record, but you never hear him talk about the football, right? Because let's go look at the managers that actually win, right? Tell me about Oliver Glasner's points total in the past 3 years. Yeah, that's right. No one cares. But we know he won a trophy last year. Tell me about Eddie Howe's where he took Newcastle from when he took over from Steve Bruce. Again, no one cares. 2 finals in 3 years, won one of them. The people who wanted Ten Hag out of Manchester United can tell you about all his failures. But they can also lean on 2 trophies. They have a crutch. No one can tell me what Arne Slot's analytics are, because no one cares. We know that he won the Premier League last year. So when people have to go to that far lengths to dig up, you know, all the stuff that you're doing well, is because we don't see it. Why don't we see it? Because it's not valid. It's not relevant to the conversation that we're having. I thought that's Kwame Brown, a bona fide of no disrespect. Yeah, number 1 pick. Drafted number 1 pick, certified bust. He might be the biggest bust of all time. I actually got asked this on one of my NBA Wednesday shows when I asked who was the number 1 bust of all time, and we had a list. You know, Kwame Brown was on there, Oliver Conde was on there, Adam Morrison was on there, Anthony Bennett was on there. The list goes on and on and on and on. Darren, if you can walk, Arteta starting you next game. Yeah, the injuries are piling up. There we go. Anthony Bennett, number 1 pick, Cleveland Cavaliers. Whoever thought that was, whoever was a part of that. And speaking of Anthony Bennett, he was a Canadian, you know. Speaking of Canadians, big up to the Toronto Gooner in the building. Big up to Toronto Gooner, brother. I hope you are well. I'm under 30 myself, and I would say LeBron the second halftime. However, 1 more ring, and then I would give it to him 9. 1 more ring. The thing with me with LeBron is, right, too many people won on his watch. Right? You can't be considered the GOAT when Steph Curry was drafted 3 years after you, but have the same amount of ring as you. They both have 4. LeBron was drafted in 03. Steph Curry was drafted in 09. They sit on the same amount of rings. Kawhi led at 8 on his watch. Kobe 8 on his watch. You know, Who just won? The Joker ate on his watch. Um, Giannis, Nowitzki. Too many people ate on his watch. Too many people was eating when he was at the big table. For me, how did Steph get? Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, that's a mad one. Too many people ate on his watch. My favorite Jamaican breakfast are either saltfish, callaloo, fried egg, or callaloo bacon and scrambled egg with dumpling and festival. Buckler. Hey, going at it. That's some Thanksgiving stuff right there. I thought it's like Anthony Bennett, 1 in 23. Ooh, that's a dig right there. Wahaha. I hear that though. I hear that. Something that really gets under my skin is Odegaard get to wear the legendary number 8 shirt made famous by Sunderland and Ian Wright. So Wahaha, you AJ, if you look in the thumbnail, you see Ian. I put that thumbnail up for a reason, right? Because that thumbnail, Ian Wright. If you know and you follow my story, you know that I became an Arsenal fan because of Ian Wright when I met him in London in '91, right? I put that thumbnail up because I read this morning. As soon as I wake up, I go to the Arsenal section of FootMob, and it's Arsenal will be releasing the retro kit in October. Another kit launch, another kit release. Men are still fuming. Are we still fuming? I'm still fuming a little bit. The fog hasn't really cleared all the way from the loss to Liverpool, right? It really hasn't fully cleared, and the best these men can do is we're gonna release another kit. I'm like, these mother man, releasing kits. We're gonna be, we can have a bet. I wonder if Betway or FanDuel has a bet this year of just over or under 10 merch releases for Arsenal this year. I'm taking the over. I can see this football club launching at least 12 to 14 kits this year. Training warm-up kit, the winter kit, the spring kit. There's going to be so many retro kits, this, that. It's going to be too much. I'm taking the over every single time. Mr. Batt said, unfortunately, certain numbers have lost their value in present time. No respect for the history of the club, not just yours. Yeah. When did that happen? I think that's partly us to blame as the older generations for not, upholding the standards, Yeah, because the numbers used to actually mean something. When people say this guy's playing the number 6, this guy's playing the number 10, the positions were numbered for a reason. Very, very long time ago, the games didn't even have subs. You wore the number of the position you played. Well, you can just stop. Kobe doesn't take no for an answer. Let the dead rest in peace, man. Oh my days. AJ, to be LeBron, that KD super team was a joke. MJ is not beating that either. Of course, they're not real rings, but they need to be brought up. Well, the reason why them men had to join super teams is because they wanted to measure up to Mike. And that's not Mike's fault. Mike never joined the super team. Mike never played with anyone else who commanded a double team. He's the reason why all these men, because they're not good as him, they had to team up with other superstars to beat others. So that was just a byproduct of Mike just being Mike. The numbers don't mean anything, man, and it should be. To answer your question, BBK, I'm in Durban, really warm right now. Big up to Godfrey, man. Big up to Godfrey every single time. Now, people, the like I said, the damn stench from the Liverpool game is still in my head. It should be over. Just a 1-0 loss away at Anfield. If you just look at the scoreline, you're like, okay, we lost to a free kick, a worldie. If you just look at the scoreline, you're like, okay, whatever. But I can't. When I look at just how we played, the cowardly tactics, the cowardly lineup, it bothers me still. I'm not gonna lie. I should be okay. A loss at Anfield isn't the worst result in the world. So why does it bother me so much? Why is this shit still just eating me up? It's because I know that we could have won the game. You can't go back in any time in recent memory and find me saying, "Oh, a prediction and feel away," and I'm predicting an Arsenal win. But I did. I'm on camera saying I thought we would win the game. Now, when Gyökeres came into the squad, right? This is really what I wanted to touch on today. Big up to third year, you locked in, people. Make sure you are hitting those likes. And still, um, when we got Gyökeres, and Gyökeres started off shaky in Singapore when he came back the game against Villarreal or whatever. When he didn't look good, the narrative started to come about saying Arteta does not know how to play with a striker. Arteta doesn't know how to play. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Let me kill that right now. I don't want to hear that. You can't be making $50 million a year, being called one of the top coaches in the world, being called a genius. Every top gooner that I know call him a genius. Even some rivals who are trying to keep him at the club are calling him a genius. And you don't know how to incorporate a striker in your team. That by default takes you out the genius conversation. So when I hear people say he can't, I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. But then when I deep it, and let me know if you all agree with this or whatever your thoughts is on this. When I deep it, it's not the striker that he can't play with. He can't play with a number 10. Because a striker is just meant to be on the end of what you create. Because Kai Havertz isn't a striker, and somehow his movement in the box is good. He just misses a lot of chances. But his movement in the box is good. That's the only good thing you'll ever hear me say about Kai Havertz. His movement in the box is good. You will never see Kai Havertz score a ball outside the box. Never. He's not putting that ball on his left foot and slap one in from 25 yards. He's not that guy. But I think the real indictment on Arteta is that he cannot coach or play with a creative midfielder. And I started to really think about it when he came into the squad in 2019. Ozil was still here, and he never played him. Ozil was one of the first players that he got rid of. And if Emil Smith-Rowe, who is playing in the number 10 role right now at Fulham, when Arteta played him, he played him out wide. He never played him as a 10. And we all know that Odegaard is not a 10. He is not a David Silva. He is not a Ozil, a Juan Mata. He is not that. But he plays in the creative spot for Arteta. Now, all of a sudden, he has an out and out 10 in Eze. And in a game that we were primed to win, he doesn't start him and gives him 20 minutes. So I'm really starting to think that it's not the striker that he can't play with. It's not the striker that he can't use. He can't use a 10. This is another indictment on this guy. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect it. Not when you make that much. I'm still fuming about that, brother. I might need to pick up 3 points. Like, it might not be until after Forest that I get over this. You know? As for merch, I'm going 17 different top drops this season. I'm taking the over. If it's over and under a 10, I'm taking the over. We're talking about Ghost there. Hey, Prime Derrick Rose was unplayable. I've never seen someone with that type of explosiveness, and that's why he tore up his ACLs. The amount of torque that he had to put on those knees yeah, man. D-Rose, a Prime D-Rose, man. Love that guy. Love his game. BBK have always said Arteta's team selection and tactics and game managers is woeful. It's absolutely atrocious. And I've asked people many, many times, and I'm not asking them because I know the answer. I'm asking them because I'm trying to be condescending or anything. I do ask when I ask this question, when was the last time you seen Arteta make a tactical in-game adjustment that saw us ascend in the game? When we were down or it was a tight game and he made a tactical adjustment that won us 3 points. And I'm pressed. And I consume a football. There hasn't been a game of football that Arsenal has played that I have missed. I can't tell you the last time I missed a Arsenal match. Watched every single one of them, going back decades. So I've seen pretty much every single game that Arteta has managed for the football club, and I'm really pressed to think, when was the last time he made a tactical adjustment that really, really saw us click? Yeah, boy, that Chicago boy, Windy City Assassin, bro. He's deadly at his pump. Injuries did him in, though. A couple of people. I put him in that Brandon Roy category. The injuries just did him in, man. I think it feels worse because you had the tools to do some damage, but the arrogant prick deliberately chose not to. Losses like these are worse than players playing positive and losing to facts. Facts. Because if we lost 3-1, because we lost 3-1 at home to Man United when we peppered them, and David De Gea made like 20 saves. The only complaint that Arsenal fans walked away from that game was is that we didn't get 3 points, but they could not fault the play. They could not fault the play. It was like we were just unlucky today. When your goalkeeper was man of the match and you win the game 3-1, you know what it is. But did Allison have something to do? Allison was on the phone talking to Carlo about the international break. Allison was like, "Hey, this Martinelli guy, don't bring him to the team." Allison was on the phone with Carlo telling him, "Do not select this guy for the Brazilian team. Even though Rodrigo is not playing, you better call him up. Do not call up Martinelli. He can't play. He cannot." Derrick Rose would have been better than Steph Curry if he could have stayed fit. Now he wouldn't have been that shooter, but no one could stay in front of him. Absolutely no one could stay in front of that boy. Oh, I forget that Latvian Gunnar is a Bulls fan too, you know. Yeah. Yeah, once you saw him went down and he was holding his knee, you heard Mike Breen holding his knee. He's holding his knee. You know it was over. You know, so and Gabriel Jesus has had 2 of those. So we can't expect him to come back and be anything like pre-2022 levels. Because we saw what one ACL did to Derrick Rose. Big up the Jack line. Nowadays, we can't even enjoy watching our games. All we do is pass sideways and backwards. It's boring. It's snooze fest. Brother Views always say, paint watches Arsenal. Paint drying watches Arsenal. You know, it's a sleep aid. If you have any form of insomnia, put on an Arsenal match. You'll be asleep in 2 seconds. It's better than anesthesia. You know? Better than that damn anesthesia. And the thing is, right, I have to ask, most of us in this stream, in this chat, played football at some level, right? At some level. You think the players are enjoying this shit? If you are a football player and you're playing this type of football, are you enjoying this? There is no way Madueke goes on the pitch and be like, "Man, this is good." Even though I wouldn't have been playing at Chelsea, when I did play at Chelsea, at least I could do football or wing a shit. And now I'm here, doing the recycle thing. You know, the only player that looks like they have anything about them is Max and Ethan when they come on the pitch. And one will argue it's because the Arteta hasn't coached it out of him yet, because they're very, very young. There is no way in hell these men are enjoying sideways, boring ass football like Jack Line just said. Back pass, back pass, back pass. Like, what is that? These men might have more fun in training. You know, when they get to training early, do their warm-ups and run through a couple of drills, bang, 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 the manager comes and takes the fun out of all this shit. Gabriel still recovering from his attempt to piggyback right a United player. But keep smashing those likes again. Big up to my brother Views all the time. But what's very dangerous, right? What's very dangerous is a group of players not enjoying their football, because that is the first step in losing the dressing room. That is the first step of downing tools. It's a bad work environment. If you are not enjoying your football, it's time to do something. Either you leave or you get the person who's the source of your pain gone. And we all know where the source of the pain is. It's criminal. It's criminal. Big up to the Latvian Gunnar again. Said, no chance in hell. I was a right-wing striker. I hated defending by default. I tracked back still. But coaches never told me defending was a priority for number one for my position and playing it safe. I need chaos in the box. Bang, bang. Like the man has single-handedly taken out the entertainment out of football. And he's doing that at Arsenal, which makes it worse. You know? Like if there's any NFL fans, there's the 85 Chicago Bears defense. Best defense ever in the NFL. When those guys look at the league, Chicago Bears defense now, it's personal with them. So when we're Arsenal fans and we're used to Arsenal football, that Wenger ball, the tiki taka before it had a name, bang bang bang, right? The Norwich goal probably go down as the greatest team goal ever, bang 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 bang. And now we're doing this. Martinelli gets the ball and he's running with his head down, and he knows that the manager will be happy and okay with him if he keeps possession and stop the ball and make a back pass while he has a striker running towards the goal. Now, if you have any football sense, any football IQ, and you are a winger and you have a striker running towards the goal, you put the ball into the space, let him run onto it. A good winger in that position in the ninth minute, a good winger in that space, Gyökeres shouldn't even have to take a touch. He just runs on and slots that away. Far right corner, classic Henry finish, classic Aubameyang finish. How many times have we seen that over the years? With Perez passing that ball through, Bobby P, and TT just putting the ball where it belongs in the net. But he cuts the ball back, and we don't even get to recycle it. It goes out for a goal kick. My goodness. AJ says, because of my medical condition, I have a lot of surgeries to the point where I lost count. Arteta's football knocked me out. Better than all the drugs I ever did. better than the drugs, the anesthesia. Yeah, brother. That's yeah. It's beyond boring, man. And that's the thing, right? My wife wants to be involved in the Arsenal thing. She buys me all this Arsenal merch all the time. Big up to Darren. But I can't get her to sit down and watch a game of art now. Now, when we sit down and like the Barcelona game on Sunday, it was a 1-1 game, but it was an exciting game of football. She can watch that because she knows there's football being played. When she sees them all get on the ball, and I'm telling her that boy is 17 years old. He's like, what? Yeah. Our son upstairs is younger than him. Imagine Marley doing that. He's like, yeah, he is really good there, but we have players in our squad. Like I was watching, someone sent me a 2-minute compilation clip of Eze this morning. 2 minutes of Eze's best work, and my God, it made me even more angry. I'm like, why would you send me this? Because if you see what that boy can do, we left that on the bench and opted for Mikel Moreno. Mikel chose Mikel. Gunner for Life 82 said, BBK, nowhere these players are liking this. Eze's face said it all. I think that's what he's doing to Ethan is criminal. So, and this is it. See that damn catch? That damn catch from the catch-up. I told him Ethan played 889 minutes last year, and he says I'm like, brother, Ethan's going to play less minutes than he did last year. And last year we had injuries and we were begging for him to play. He's going to play less minutes this year. Don't be surprised if you see January comes and Ethan is going out on loan or making, demands to go out on loan. Because remember, before he signed, it was AFTV was on here talking about how dare he demand more minutes. He's only 18. Sit down. No. When he was linked to Chelsea away, we were linked to Madueke. Remember that one? They were going against Ethan saying that, oh, who the hell do you think he is demanding more playing time? Now, he had to be given some assurances because he re-signed. Because it's not like he doesn't have the quality to get into any other side. He does. Ethan spent the entire campaign last year proving he belonged in the Premier League, belonged in a top team in limited minutes. And he's going to play less this year. 1, due to the manager. 2, due to the Tony Adams captain controversy. So he's not going to bench Odegaard. Odegaard is going to play extended minutes. And the emergence of Max Baumann and Eze in the squad. Ethan is going to play less minutes. Mr. Batter, won't be surprised at some point this season you will see a Rice, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres. We do what we want on the pitch situation. Yeah, especially Eze. Eze, you're 27. You just signed. Like this is probably going to be the last big club that you're at because you're going to outlast Arteta. So, and if Eze goes on the pitch and expresses himself and then we don't see him, for 2 3 matches, then we know what's up. We already know, but the rest of them will know what's up. They will see the writings on the wall. They will see that it's not a case of, oh, he can't incorporate a striker. It's a case of he doesn't know how to use a creative 10 because he's shit. I only played football at the high school level, and I would hate playing Arteta football. Yeah. Now, when I played in Germany, German football isn't a lot of flair, step overs, that type of stuff. It's very technical, right? But the passes are progressive. You only recycle the ball if you're being doubled up on, or you recycle the ball so you can get it back into a better space. But when Martinelli recycles the ball and passes it backwards, he runs backwards. He doesn't give you a 1-2 knock and try to get the ball back. He passes it back to Declan or to Calafiori and then runs back into the midfield. And he's an attacker. Bro. Maybe he can go work somewhere as a wing back. Maybe. But, as an attacking player, he's not it. 28 likes. Yes, big up, people. Can we get to 30? Can we get to 30? I can dig it. There's the link for our brother views. And, yep, that's the new channel. That is the new channel. It's also pinned in the title of the video. So, please, let's go show our brother some love. People saying the coach is the shitty preseason football is because players become footballers because they like playing with the ball. Facts. Yeah, all this off the ball work that they talk about Martinelli and Havertz and all this shit. But I don't know. Man is out here making sausage. I don't want to hear that shit, man. Footballers want to play football. And the attacking third, go score. We got to Mr. Battard say that would be a tad too much, but they could turn on Arteta and Bertha could be happy to oblige them with a new manager. Like I was telling the Waffle Down yesterday, Bertha has 2 names. He knows that he can do better with the squad. Part of his job description, part of his duty. It's part of his duty to have the next manager ready to go when Arteta fucks this up. But the looks of it, it looks like it will be sooner rather than later. Because I should be sitting here with all the conviction in the world saying that on September 13th that we're going to walk over Forest. But if Forest are looking at what Liverpool did, looking at that Liverpool game, they're thinking that we can get something from Arsenal. Because if they put that lineup out against us, then we have no worries. Because the thing is, one of the most concerning takeaways from the Liverpool game is Liverpool didn't play a low block against us. Low blocks gives us trouble. Liverpool gave us a low block and we couldn't break it down. Part of it is because our attack was on the damn bench. But if them man couldn't get a forward pass in a Liverpool that plays open, honest football, you think we can get something out of Forest who's going to play 2 banks of 5? And if Eze doesn't start against Crystal Palace, what excuse does he have? Because Eze better not be on the fucking bench. He better not. Because what he can't say is, oh, he didn't have a training session. He did. Brother, one, we know he had a training session. He came on at Anfield. We will have trained with the team again and again and again. All our players come back from international break without any injuries or get back in decent time. Eze better start. Because if Odegaard starts in the creative 10 against Palace, I can't sit here with any conviction saying we're going to win that game. And you can't win the league in September, but you can damn sure lose it. Because I don't know who Liverpool have after the international break, but I know they're getting fist up. I can take a quick glance real quick to look at the fixtures ahead. But Liverpool has Burnley. Yep, that's 6-0. You want to try to nutmeg the guy on the live, then the goalie from God knows where. I played left wing and striker. I was also a captain. I had standards. I called my catch up and I played my right winger and my number 10. We won 17 straight games, 3 trophies that season. Yeah. But Arteta doesn't, allow call outs, Not pass. Big up to Darren still. Oh my God, no idea. Arteta is the anesthesiologist. Yep, put you to sleep. Hey, he puts you to sleep though. He's not, at least the anesthesiologist keeps you alive and help you breathe. This man just gives you the damn propofol and leave. Mr. Rice already did it. I remember Real Madrid, Jover and Arteta wanted told him to cross it. Rice said to Saka he wants to shoot, and Saka said, "If you feel it, go for it." Yeah, I don't think Arteta liked that press conference afterwards either. He wanted Declan to come out and be like, "Yeah, the gaffer wanted me to have a go. If I felt it now, but this is what happens." And that piece of nugget right there, this little piece of nugget, when you take the game into your own hands because you're on the pitch and you can feel the pulse of the game, more of that will happen throughout the course of the season. Some individual brilliance, because that was individual brilliance, and they're going to start tuning out the coach, especially when the results aren't going favorably. Because say we draw against Forest and Liverpool slap up Burnley, and you feel the gap growing, the players are going to be like, "Now we do not want to be labeled as second men, second. Honestly, Taryn, I feel it's time for you and your loved wife to start watching Renee Slager's football, because trust me, you will see something special. Oh, we're gonna watch the ladies. Best believe. I'm gonna go glory hunt. It's not really glory hunting, because it's all a part of the family. Exactly that. It might be a good thing because your backline is sound. I swear, I said it to you at the time. I was fearing he was going to trade Ethan for Nani. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Ethan's minutes, they will go down this season. 880 to 89 minutes he played last year. Now, if you let the top gooners tell that same story, they'll tell you he played 32 games. Sounds better. Sounds like it's a lot of games, right? He played 32 games. 889 minutes is less than 10 games. 90 minutes per game, yeah? 90 times 10 is 900. He played 889. So it's not a lot of games. And that's with all the injuries and no Eze and no Dowman in the squad. So he's going to play less this year. So I can see this relationship going sour very soon. Big up to the legend that is Views of 2-1 Forest incoming. Forest has gotten something from us the last 3 seasons, isn't it? Because we lost the league at the City Ground in the first failed title charge. Then the next year, I don't remember the results from the next year, but last year it was 3-0 at the Emirates, 0-0 at the City Ground. So, it's if Forest play a low block, we are screwed. Yeah. I think if he starts Eze and starts Max or Ethan on one of the wings, we can do something. And if we know Forrest is going to be in a low block, Martinelli better not be on the pitch. Because he's as useless as a limp dick. Odegaard will start against Forrest. I mean, I wish I could, somehow doubt that somehow. Mr. Batter said facts. I think your tougher game of the 3 coming up is Forest, because they play a low block and they're at the Counter Kings. It's going to be. That will be at home. We lose that game, and it will go back to what I was saying back in the summer. Slow start, and the Emirates will get toxic, because there is no world exists where Liverpool lose against Burnley. Now, I think we have the first early kickoff. I think we will have played before anyone. So it's not like we're going to see the Liverpool 3 points on the board, but the people in the stadium will know that Liverpool are going to beat Burnley the next day. So, match week 4, and it's already a must-win. Even at halftime, 0-0, and that crowd is getting anxious. I can't lie. After the Forest at home, we have City at home, and then Newcastle away. It might be long, plus Bilbao away. Yeah, Bilbao has tape on us from the preseason, yeah? So they will give us a better game. Or will they just lay down the way? Because that man laid down when Man United came to town, didn't they? In the Europa League. So fuck Bilbao, man. Useless. They should have went on and won that Europa League. They should have beat United and then went on to beat Tottenham. Speaking of Rice, he's not on free kicks this season. Well done, Arteta. He's on corners, isn't it? We are going to see the Eddie Howe masterclass again. Yeah, that Newcastle game will be a tough one. And that's the thing. Eddie Howe knows that he has Arteta's number. He knows. I think even Graham Potter at West Ham knows that he has Arteta's number. I don't think he's well respected amongst other managers like that. I really don't. I think other managers around the Premier League look at Arteta, look at that squad, and be like, how is he not winning? How is he not doing better? How is the football that bad? How are you going to Anfield and not starting Eze? Iraola is like, if I have Eze in my squad with Bournemouth, I probably win the Liverpool game because I started without Tavernier, without Cliver, and still scored 2 goals at Anfield. You went there and put 8 defenders on the pitch. Yeah, I'm saying we put 8 defenders on the pitch because Gyökeres and Noni Madueke were the only 2 attacking players. Martinelli's a defender. He's not on the pitch for his attacking prowess. He's a defender. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Moreno are all defensive midfielders. And 4 defenders behind them. That's 8. 2 attackers on the pitch away at Anfield. What are we doing? But that's what he did. That's what 15 million pounds a year gets you. You know? I think you beat City because they play positive Newcastle as well. Forest in a different position. Yeah. We should beat City. But will he put out a 8-man defensive formation again against City? Because he knows that City are gunning for us of what we did to him last year. Best believe. When the schedule came out, those Man City fans, they circled that day. Arsenal away. The man beat us 5-1 and thought they won the league. Oh, we got something for them. So depending on how they perform in that Manchester derby, Man City will be up for it. Worcester will score against us when we play Newcastle, no question. Yeah, Worcester. I'd rather play Worcester than Isak still. Jack at 9. Xhaka! Oh man! Now, if this happens and the game ends 5-1, calm. Yeah, he scores a screamer, but that's their consolation, and we win the game 5-1. The Emirates crowd, they love Xhaka so much they'll even clap. Yeah, they will clap, even though Xhaka gave us 3 years of shit, 1 good season, and then people act like he was pulling up trees at Arsenal. Kind of the same way that the fan base will say Arteta finished second, as if he started coaching us in 2022, 2023. Like, what about the 8th, 5th? Yeah, that's the narrative that they're going to run. Say, should we win the Premier League this season? The narrative that what's his name? That Charles Watts and Ted Hurley, they were printing their paper and putting it in his biography. It won't be 1 Premier League in 7 years or 2 trophies in 6.5 years, however many years. It will be in the last 4 years, the lowest Mikel Arteta has finished second. That's why he was so obsessed with second last year. That's why when we were 1-0 down on aggregate to PSG going away. The previous week, we played all of our starters when PSG rested everybody. And then we went to PSG, huffed and puffed for 20 minutes, and then had nothing for the rest of the game. Nothing. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out, says my top mod, man, like AJ. Most managers of Arteta's number, regardless of the player that he has. Facts. Absolute facts. No complaints, no denial there. I don't think they respect him highly. I don't. Because they get something from him. And if you're on slot and you see him do that on Sunday, you're like, yeah, this guy's a coward. But when I turn up to the Emirates with Isak, yeah, I'm going to move to him. Because there is no way the Emirates crowd would allow, I'm saying this, but then, they stand up and clap him on the last day and shit and sing his song. But there is no way he should be allowed to get away with going defensive against Liverpool when they come to the Emirates. But they're coming to the Emirates with a better team. And another one of the talking points yesterday that was on the Dan Paster's show that the Christian was used to defend Arteta was, that's the hardest game we'll ever have to play. No, it's not. It is not. Liverpool away, hard game, tough fixture, tough grind. I get it. But Liverpool away in match week 3, with the form that they've started the season with, is not a harder fixture than Fulham away April 18th, where we have to win. The occasion and the opponent is better, but as a fixture, you're in a title race in match week 36 where you are Fulham away, or you're at Goodison Park or whatever the new stadium is now, and you have to win. That's a harder fixture. So they think that the justification for him being cowardly is because it's a hard fixture. No, it's a tough ground to go to. Yes, it is 100,000%. But there will be tougher games. There will be teams that get up for us in match week 30 plus. Do we trust him to have the solutions? Nope. Newcastle got that new 6'6" Walter Maid up front and Whistle. Not sure how they set up. Yeah. On set pieces, they're going to be a damn a problem. As Big Dan Burn is also 6'6". He is a unit. So those corners, we'll pray that they take them short. Because we don't want Big Dan Burn doing us in again. 30 likes. Rock on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Nah, guys, I can't. This Arteta guy is a fraud or an agent. Yeah. I hear the agent shouts. Because as an agent, that's what you do, right? You infiltrate and you destroy an organization from within. It's much easier that way. Xhaka should have been sacked the moment he threw the armband on the ground and told us to fuck off. Yeah, but they act like he gave us 6 years of bangers. Nah, brother, that man gave us 4 years of shit and a one decent season and one good one in his last one. Like yesterday, I was on with the Waffle Don and he was talking about the City. I was like, you talking about the when we were down 10 men at City and lost 5-0? He forgot that performance. Who was in that performance, Xhaka? Two-footed someone? Not sure if it was Rodri or Ferran Torres. But he two-footed someone, got sent off. We got pammed 5-0 at the Etihad. Got our shit pushed in. Yep, Big Don Burn, he's there. 6'6". Big up to Gavin. Hope you are well, sir. Please tell us that you are. That Dan Burn is a guy the thug. Call him Shar Batman. They manhandle forwards. Gyökeres battle with them would be nasty. And then, and Ruben Amorim shows that when you get into a physical battle, when you rough Gyökeres up, it's going to be long. Right? So that's what we're going to need is to play the ball into a position to Gyökeres while he is running towards the goal. That way you can't touch him. If you touch him, then now goal scoring opportunity, you're off. But as a skill, as a weight of pass is what Gyökeres needs. But the manager said, no, I think Moreno's better. I think Moreno's a better option to help us win this game. Deep that. That you have this guy, but you think that guy. That makes me question where you're really trying to win the game. Can't really get into someone's head, but you can watch what they do and aggregate and make an informed decision in it. Versus Liverpool after halftime should have made the changes and attacked them, but this his in-game management is the worst. And once that's how Arne Slot started to bring, he brought on Curtis Jones or McAllister, by the way. McAllister's the better player all year long, but I think McAllister is coming back from injury, and the manager is not going to risk him. So McAllister is going to be available for the next game and the next game, and will be available for the Liverpool run-in. You think he is taking off Saka in the 60th minute, coming back from injury? Nah. He's playing him a full 90, so he can limp off. Absolute madman. Big up Gavin L. Hope you are good. Gavin L. bigging up Gunner for life. Latvian Gooner says Mr. Battered. I'm losing it there. Gooner versus Tonali. We eat Zimmerman for breakfast. No sauce, no spices. Yeah, big old breakfast and just burp like one of them ones. But it is what it is, people. Just had to get my morning rant off before I go to physical therapy. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and helping me with my morning therapy. Mental. The mental part of it. I will be back later. Probably stream later on with Jason Gooner. Got to call Jason Gooner up to ask him some questions. So, yes, people, like I always say, Latvian Gooner says, how's the therapy going, by the way? Always forget. It's going, bro. It's going. I'm off the crutches. The damn therapist should be pushing me a little too hard, but I can't be no bitch in it. I have to take it. My pain tolerance is not very high at times still, but it's going well, man. I can walk about and kick ball yet. Long way off from that, but it's a work in progress. I'm here for it. But big up to every single one of you, man. That's checked in the journey towards the recovery. Appreciate you every single time. But hey, football's back. They just have to deliver on the pitch now. Nowhere to hide. Exclamation. Yes, sir. Big up to you, damn legends. You damn legends in the true sense of the word. Like I always say, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.